Hi, I'm Tyler, and this is the Fox Valley Film Critics, the Classy Edition. In this episode of the show, we're going to be discussing the next in the lineup of the AFI's Top 100 Movies, All About Eve, as well as the newest Steven Spielberg blockbuster, Ready Player One. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to the show, brought to you by Groupthink Productions and FVTV. Joining us once again for this special episode is...
Tony Calkins? Hello.
Yes,
Hi.
Indeed, he is Tony.
Yes, thank you for having me. So fancy-like, yes.
Yes, and this is purely for aesthetic reasons.
Yes.
So anyway, for this segment, we're talking about All About Eve, the wonderful Joseph Mankiewicz comedy drama.
Comedy drama thing.
Yes. From 1950,
Yeah.
That was apparently the most nominated film, I believe, in the history of the Oscars. 14 nominations.
That's wild.
It's either that or Titanic. I forget which one exactly, but
I think it's this. 14?
yeah, 14.
Because I think Titanic was like 12 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said you'd seen this before?
Yes, I saw this when I was like 13. I don't know. I don't remember why. I think it might have just been on while my parents were watching it or something. But I remember this movie. But of course, when I was that age, I had no idea what it was about. And so when I had to watch it again for this, I was like, I remember it being all right from what I can remember. Then I watched it. I'm like, there's like themes now that I understand, and comedy and drama, and it's really messed up. It's a messed up movie, and I just think if this movie was made today, it'd be like a lot more messed up than it comes off to be.
Yeah. So one of the reasons I like to do this segment is that I'm always annoyed by our generation, the millennials per se.
Yeah.
Our general illiteracy when it comes to old movies. Like there's a tendency not to go back and watch old stuff, and I kind of get why, because it's slower paced, and we were all raised on SpongeBob, so we all have stupid brains now. But
people can't handle long shots, you know.
Yes. So most of the time, I try to go back into these movies with a very open mind, and every once in a while, I hit one where it just breaks something in my mind, and I don't know how to process it.
Yeah.
And this movie did that for me. Where I had the hardest time just paying attention to what was going on. And I feel so stupid and of my generation because I have to say that. But I will say, as a performance movie, as a comedy, I appreciate so much about it. But as a straightforward story, I would not be able to tell you every single thing that happened to it offhand just on my first viewing.
See, I was like, this is trying to be a comedy, but to me, it's like some weird horror movie.
It's a highly literate comedy. It's very. I described it earlier to you. It reminds me a lot of Paul Thomas Anderson's Inherent Vice adaptation, where it's very wordy and it's very dependent on the audience member engaging very deeply with the dialogue and paying attention to every single thing that every character says and understanding it. Because it's expecting you to really understand all the themes of what it's trying to explore in it. And if you fall behind, you're kind of screwed.
See, yeah, when I turned this movie on, and I was kind of, at first, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get into this. It's just about some acting thing. Because I didn't remember the plot very well. But then there's this moment in the beginning scene where Eve is doing her thing, and you're listening to this story, and it's just like, this sounds like too sappy. And then she gives this look in the camera. The actress did a great job. I don't know her name, but she did this perfect little glance. And it's just like, ooh. That's when you start to know none of it's real. And then it's like this real creepy feeling the more you learn about her, that she's like not who she says she is, and she's basically trying to replace
Margot.
Margot, which is I was just like, this is a creeper. This is a stalker, essentially. It's like a celebrity stalker trying to like mimic and do. She's trying to take everything. Tries to take her boyfriend at one point. I'm just like, this is. I got what I thought I wouldn't get attached to because I had all those memories of watching this as a kid, and then the beginning was a little slow. But I don't know. I got hooked pretty easy.
Okay, I maybe I'm just being stupid and I need to watch it again.
No. But I can see what you're saying.
Stupid millennial brain.
Useless.
No. I'll hand me one of those shovels over there. I need to beat it in.
Okay. No, it's no. I get what you're saying though, because there are parts of this where it's just like, oh, we get the point. We get it. Or like it's just like, or they throw so many things into it at once. Like at the beginning, it's like the whole first part is about Margot, and then the second half's about Eve, kind of.
It's not all about Eve. This is flagrant false advertising.
Yeah, it was false advertising.
I want to talk about the performances.
Yeah.
Betty Davis is so amazing.
She did so good in this movie. She's what carries the movie.
I mean, my only complaint is that this came out the same year as Sunset Boulevard, and that movie does everything this movie does better.
Yeah. Better.
But so I forget her name, Gloria Swanson, I think. I think it's Gloria Swanson.
Horrible with names.
But yeah.
But we got a yes from behind the camera, so yeah.
Yes, thank you, producer. But yes, in that movie, that performance and Billy Wilder's dialogue and Billy Wilder's directing, and I must say, I've really grown to appreciate Billy Wilder because of the show. But that movie is so movie-ish.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a bunch of essays on this movie today, and this movie plays out very much like a stage play.
I was thinking the same exact thing.
Which is appropriate because it's about stage actors.
Yeah.
But it makes the movie more visually boring.
I feel like this was one of the last movies of its time that played like that. Because a lot of early movies, they didn't really know much, and they filmed it like a stage play. And I feel like this was kind of really one of the last ones.
Yes and no. A lot of that was post-sound. Pre-sound, pre-sound, it was like montage visuals.
Yeah, they were.
But when you start bringing in theater actors, it changes a little bit.
It did.
And I will say, to Joseph Mankiewicz, he's a very, very talented screenwriter, and he's actually, his entire family, the Mankiewiczes, were screenwriters. His brother wrote the first draft of Citizen Kane. Yeah. And you can kind of see how this family just, they know how to write really intelligent, story-driving dialogue that pushes it along. And this is a very deep movie that I will give it.
Very deep.
It's just incomprehensible if your mind's been rotted on SpongeBob. So.
Yeah, I think you give it another view, and it's just a lot of the themes just like once you're really like listening and like trying to get into the mind of some of these characters, because I love that end scene in the hotel room with Eve and the critic, the film critic, where he's like, I know all this is a game. Your name's Gertrude. This is a lie. You got around.
That's not a spoiler, by the way. That was in the movie's trailer.
Yes, it was. This isn't a spoiler.
That's the last 20 minutes of the movie, and it's in the trailer. But yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I was just like, it's like, man, it's so good if you are willing to just sit down and watch it like a stage play. If you're expecting like a movie, this isn't it.
It's not a Billy Wilder movie.
No, this is not it.
Few movies are as good as Billy Wilder movies.
Yeah, this isn't. This isn't. But it's good. It's good for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely appreciate the fact that it's as good as it is.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk about the Marilyn Monroe cameo.
What?
You didn't see that?
No.
Marilyn Monroe has a very small role in this movie.
I missed it.
She's not. This was like one of her earliest roles. She plays one of the. I forget one of the character it was, but she just has a small role during the party scene, some of the party scenes.
Oh, is she that actress that the guy brings in with her? Is that?
She's the blonde.
Oh, I'm stupid. See, I'm dumb. Now give me that shovel. Oh.
It tastes great under heat, but yeah.
Warm.
But yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know that.
I completely, I knew the character was that, I just didn't think.
AJ pointed that out to me when we did our review of Some Like It Hot a couple months ago. He's like, between this and All About Eve, he's like, oh, he's like, okay, I'm remembering that in like a month. I'll have to watch that. I was like, there she is.
Oh man,
you gotta wear binoculars to see it.
And now that I know it's there, if I ever watch this movie again, it'll be like, there she is. So
yeah, she stole the scenes she was in though. So.
She did a great job. Now that I know who she is, I'm so young. They're gonna be like millennial in the comments. Didn't know I was about to say Meryl Streep. Jesus.
Oh, that's so sad.
Okay,
I'm so sad.
Marilyn Monroe.
What is it with Meryl's?
I know, Meryl's. I feel stupid now. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, well. That's all I had to say on the movie. Do you have anything else? Or?
If you like stage plays, watch this movie because it plays out like that. And if you are, it oddly fits actresses like trying to get into roles today with like the whole like aging thing and casting young people. So that's what I have to say. Watch the movie. It's good.
All right. That's his recommendation. Join us for the next segment for Ready Player One. Stay tuned. Ready Player One is another Steven Spielberg movie. Tell us about this. The Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. Well, it's kind of ironic that we have the book and a fire here because I feel like when Mr. Spielberg was writing this movie, he took this and just went whoop.
Let's go over the book real quick. This is kind of a debate now, where people are just are starting to like get mad at the book. Have you noticed that at all?
I didn't read the book when I originally saw the movie, but my girlfriend had. So then I read parts of it. This is nothing like the film. It's the same premise, but like in this, Wade is like required to go there because there's a school he goes to, and it's like it's a second world more or less, but he goes to school there, and there's no race to get to the Easter egg. He just stumbles upon it.
I will say Spielberg tends to rewrite books when he adapts them. He did that with Jaws and Jurassic Park. And I thought he was going to do it with that more, but he doesn't go all the way into completely transforming it. It's kind of this weird halfway where he keeps the basic structure of the book, and he just changes all the details.
And I'm going to say something that's probably going to irritate a lot of people who like this book, like my girlfriend, but the changes he made were necessary because the stuff in this book is a boring movie. No one wants to see him stumble upon anything or sit there and play on a video game or like reenact. The movie he reenacts in this is I forgot the name. It's that one with
Shining.
No, that's the movie.
War Games.
Yes, War Games. No one wants to see that. No, The Shining's way cooler.
You don't want to see the little kid who played Cyclops in attempting to reread Matthew Broderick's lines from War Games?
No, I don't. I like, yay, Matthew Broderick. Nothing says awesome like Matthew Broderick.
I'm trying to think of all the Godzilla quotes that aren't in my brain.
Oh, no. But I heard people were getting mad about this book because, like, they make the girl character a prize at the end or something. That's what I read online.
There's a whole litany of criticisms the book is getting now because it came out 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It's not a new book, but it came out kind of at a different time, I guess, and everyone's just like, well, post-Gamergate and post this nerd culture getting more obnoxious, the book doesn't really hold up. And my big criticism of the book is that I don't think it takes its themes far enough. Like, I think that the book sets up a really good premise that contrasts the world of the Oasis and the world of crap, of everything that's going on in the world. And instead of, like, it implies that it's supposed to be a book about how escapism is dangerous.
Yeah.
Instead, it ends up becoming a protracted metaphor for net neutrality, taking away the one thing that lets us escape how bad the world is. I'm like, that's not a good metaphor.
No. But
the world is crap. How dare you take away the one outlet?
So what do you think about like the movie though?
It was okay.
Yeah. I liked it a lot when I first saw it, and then the more I've said it, I'm just like, it was fun.
I don't remember much of. Like, I remember it's been a couple weeks since I saw it, but like it's fine. If it being directed by anyone but Steven Spielberg, I would imagine this would be just a complete mess.
It would.
But it would have been like Hunger Games or something other completely disposable. But he took a knife to it and carved out huge segments of it so we could try to make the themes a little more comprehensive.
Yeah, and I there were parts I liked the following them along to like try to figure it out. I mean, it wasn't that hard to figure out some of these clues, but like it was still fun. And the villain, that guy playing, I'm blanking on his name right now. I usually know it. Orson Krennic, that's what I'm going to call him. He does a great job at playing those like villains for like business, like,
scenery
jerks. Yeah, I love seeing him on screen. But I mean, other than that, it was kind of just like,
He literally chewed the scenery.
Yes, yeah, he did. He might have literally. I don't even know, but like I said, it was okay. I mean, I don't know.
This is glowing approval from us. I mean, like I don't know why Spielberg wanted to make this movie right now. I just did a complete marathon of almost everything that Steven Spielberg directed in his entire filmography on my blog. And the one thing I've noticed as I got farther and farther into his filmography is that he just got so bored directing blockbusters by the early 2000s. Like the last time he really tried on a blockbuster was War of the Worlds, and it was okay.
Don't forget Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Hold on, hand me that pointy thing. I gotta choke myself. But yeah, he did that. BFG is okay, but there really aren't that many great modern Spielberg blockbusters. Like everything he wants to do now is like Lincoln and Bridge of Spies and The Post. He wants to be this kind of more dramatic moralist who's just doing these smart movies that are about political commentary.
Although I guess now,
and those are all great.
Now he's kind of changing the pace because he's doing this. He's doing the next indie movie for some reason. They're making another one of those.
Indiana Jones 5. He's doing a
DC movie.
It's going to be a fighter pilot movie in World War II.
Yeah.
And he's doing a West Side Story adaptation.
He could do whatever he wants, but like, why, Mr. Spielberg?
I just the enlightenment meme from on the memes like,
yeah.
Why? We just make another genre, like not genre, to make another drama movie. Just do what we want.
Yeah, I think he makes these movies. I think he made this one because he only had to be on set for like 10 minutes because all of it's CGI. But I don't know.
That's a possibility.
I just. The point is, this is a movie review, and we've talked about the movie for 2 minutes, so that's pretty much a review of this movie. It's just.
I will say, there's one thing I thought he did really well in this, is that the way he reinterpreted Halliday.
Yeah.
I thought that was a kind of the Halliday in the books is kind of one note. He's not a bad guy. He's just kind of a nerd that knows everything about being a nerd. And in this, he kind of interprets him as someone who's kind of tragic. Like he has all the money in the world. He has created the most powerful video game in the world.
And
he doesn't know how to talk to people.
No.
He goes on a date with a girl who wants to go dancing, and he takes her to see The Shining. And
yeah, which is a lot of people can connect with that too, I feel.
And the movie ends with it's similarly to the book, but it does it in a way that makes Halliday more understandable. Like you start to see a little bit more of his soul, and
yeah.
And I think that element, I think that was the element that Spielberg really kind of felt close to. Is like he wants to, like I think if there was anything that attracted him about the material, it's the idea of him trying to portray a character who has created a kind of nerdy reality, which is kind of what Spielberg did. He's created the blockbuster.
Yeah, he did.
So I think he didn't want to just make it a distant character. He wanted to say he's like a toy maker who gains this sort of immortality by doing this sort of creating this sort of world, and that's kind of introspective on Spielberg's part. Is that it's like, look, he can't take a knife to the story and say that all the entertainment that he's created is distracting people from the world's problems, which is what the book implies. But instead, he feels like you have the power of this universe to do something with it, and like that's sweet, but it doesn't work within the context of the story all that well. But at the very least, I appreciate that he's trying to transform the novel into something a little more ambitious, which I'm sure my girlfriend would be like, no, the book is better, which fair enough. The book is way more comprehensive, and it covers a lot more stuff with it, which I appreciate. But I'd be curious to see the movie not having read the book.
And that's exactly why I didn't read the book, because when I first got out of that movie, I'm like, that was really good. I really liked it. And then the more I sat on it, I'm just like, that was okay. And then I read pieces of this book. I'm like, yeah, it was all right.
It's a shame, too, because like there's been so many good movies doing this idea, like the Lego Movie and Scott Pilgrim, where you just take this mishmash of pop culture, throw it all together, and then explore it in some way, which is do a romance movie in it, or do like a deconstruction of genre themes, but doesn't really do that. It's just Willy Wonka in the Matrix.
Enchanting. Willy Wonka meets the Matrix. That's exactly what it says on the cover of the book. I'm not even kidding. I just made that up.
Yeah. Into the fire.
No, Mr. Spielberg. Please. Not the source material.
The book was the screenplay was written by the author. So.
Oh, really?
Ernest Cline. Who also did Fanboys, which is okay.
Yeah. He makes a lot of okay things.
I know some people that are just like, Fanboys is just the greatest thing ever. I'm like, this is me clapping lazily.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think that's all the time. I'm done talking about this.
I try to talk, but I can't think of anything else.
That's all the time for this segment. Join us for the final segment where we'll have the movie recommendation for the week. Hello and welcome back to the final segment. Now we're going to hand things over to Tony for the movie recommendation this week.
So, my movie recommendation for this week is a DC animated movie called Batman Gotham by Gaslight.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's based off one of my favorite comic books, which is why I picked it, because I'm like, oh, it's based off a book. And sure enough, there's some fire here, but I don't know. It's not
a gaslit fire.
No, it's not a gaslit fire. It's this really interesting story, as if you were to take it takes Batman and it throws him way back into like even earlier than like a Sherlock Holmes time. It's really interesting, and it throws everything you kind of know about the lore on its feet because of the time period it takes place in. It kind of changes the ideas of some of the characters, and it completely makes sense with where it takes place. And I really just liked seeing what Batman's tech and like what Batman would do and like that kind of a thing. And I love the DC animated movies. I feel like they put a lot of hard work and passion into them, except for the Killing Joke for some reason.
I'll tell you what, I used to be really into those. They didn't lose me at Killing Joke. They actually lost me at Justice League War. Because I was buying them brand new every time they came out. I was like, I really want to get into these. These are cool. And then War came out, and I was subjected to 70 minutes of gritty violence and just all this. I was just like, this is my eyes.
Yeah, I really liked this one because it delved more into like the characters and the ideas.
I'll tell you, I do want to see Death of Superman, which I think looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I wish they would dig a little more into the really obscure, like, lost DC things. Like, I'd love to see them do, like, a Death of Superman Lives adaptation.
Yeah.
Or, Superman Lives, I should say. Or Justice League Mortal, if you've heard of either of those.
Yeah. I agree with you. I would like to see, like...
I'd love to see them take all these lost scripts they've just got sitting around Warner Brothers and adapt those, because those are super interesting.
I always wanted to see them do the comic book Joker. Have you read that one?
Which Joker?
It's about this one of Joker's henchmen. It's from his point of view, following the Joker around. I'm like, oh, this would make a great little short. But yeah, I really liked this one because I feel like it's been kind of sloppy the last 2 years. Ever since, I think the last one I really liked was the Batman, the 2-part one.
Dark Knight Returns?
Yeah, Dark Knight Returns.
Well, yeah, they really messed up killing Joke.
Yeah, that was...
Famously. It's 40 minutes of okay, but...
Yeah, they should have just made it a short film. But yeah, that's my recommendation, Batman Gotham by Gaslight. It's very interesting.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much for that.
Yes.
This has been Fox Valley Film Critics. You can find past recordings of the show on the Groupthink Productions YouTube page. Mm-hmm. You can follow me on Twitter at AntisocialCritI. You can find more of my written reviews at theantisocialcritic.tumblr.com and Geeks Under Grace. I'm Tyler. Have a good day.